Each Monday, since the beginning of this fall semester, I have offered reflections, Georgetown this week, on our work in addressing the COVID-19 pandemic. In earlier reflections, I have addressed the elements of our layered public health approach, our framework for testing, the state of vaccine development, the work this past summer of our faculty in preparing for the fall, and other topics. In this, the seventh set of reflections, I wish to share with you how we are managing this moment over a month into the fall semester and how we are engaging the questions regarding the spring. I offer these reflections mindful of the experiences and perspectives across our community, from our graduate and undergraduate students, our faculty and staff, our parents and caregivers of our students who I know are interested in learning more about how we will approach the spring semester. My reflections will focus on those factors that are informing our decisions regarding the spring and what we will be examining over the next month. We anticipate that we will be in a position to share an initial plan with our community in November, knowing that with the pandemic's changing conditions, we may need to adjust our plan for the safety of our community. All of us look forward to the time when we can all be here together on our campuses and when we can welcome our first-year students to the on-campus experience at Georgetown. I can appreciate the disappointment that comes with the virtual learning environment and the desire for a physical connection to our campus home, particularly for those who are new members of our community. This is not how any of us would like to be operating. We take very seriously the responsibility we have, first and foremost, to protect the health of our community and all those around us. Our actions are animated by our values, by a deep expression of care for the health and for the well-being of our community, our students, our faculty, and our staff, and our broader communities. This is why our faculty and staff worked so diligently this summer to create the very best possible virtual learning experience. And this is why we are working on efforts to bring more members of our community back as safely as we possibly can. As you remember, in early July, I wrote to you with our intention to bring to campus our first-year undergraduate students, the members of the class of 2024. A few weeks later, external conditions presented significant challenges. Uncontrolled spread in 31 states. The number of daily new cases across the nation had tripled over the summer, with more than 60,000 new cases a day. New limitations on interstate travel imposed on July 24th by the District of Columbia, and the limits on our ability to access sufficient testing at the level that we deem necessary to manage our public health obligations. As I shared with you in my letter of July 29th, we had to revise our approach for the fall and further reduce our density. Let me share with you where we are now at the halfway point of the semester as we continue to navigate the complexities of operating a university in the midst of a pandemic. Academic instruction continues in virtual mode across the university. Among our peers, this is the more common approach. We have a small residential student presence, about 500 undergraduates living in residence halls on the main campus. Similarly, at the Law Center, we have under 100 students living in the Gewers Residence Hall, taking courses virtually and accessing very selected campus services. We have over 1,400 undergraduates living off campus in our immediate neighborhoods. And we have about 5,000 undergraduates living at their permanent addresses, taking classes, and participating in virtual extracurricular life. We also have a small number of faculty and staff living on campus, our resident directors, members of our Jesuit community, and we have those who are coming to campus on a regular basis, our research community, our facilities team, our dining staff, and our colleagues responsible for monitoring public health. In order to bring members of our community to campus, we established a layered public health framework, and we have developed significant new internal capacities to manage public health in our community. This framework includes the Georgetown University Community Compact, daily attestation of symptoms, temperature checks, regular hand washing, physical distancing, wearing masks, regular asymptomatic testing, contact tracing and case management, capacity for quarantine and isolation, deep cleaning of public spaces, limiting the size of gatherings, teleworking, and minimizing density on campus. Those members of our community who are on campus 2 or more days a week receive 2 tests a week on non-consecutive days. This proactive testing approach seeks to identify cases of COVID before they spread to others, possibly creating outbreaks, the kind of outbreaks that have caused other institutions to have to halt or to change course. Since mid-August, we have now conducted over 20,000 tests, and our capacity has been increasing. We are now regularly doing more than 4,500 tests per week, 6,000 this past week, and turnaround times have been 2 days or less, a critical metric in ensuring an effective testing approach. Our overall positivity rate has been very low, less than 0.5%. We are finding asymptomatic cases, people who may be unknowingly spreading the virus. Since mid-August, 53 members of our community have tested positive. We have experienced a few small pockets of infection known as clusters. We have been able to move quickly to transition each infected person into isolation, as well as do contact tracing to determine the network of close contacts who have been exposed so that those individuals can quarantine. None of these clusters has exceeded 10 people. We had a group of 10 positives among residential on-campus students a few weeks ago in one of our residence halls. We were able to respond quickly because we have built our own internal public health operational unit. This unit is staffed by medical doctors, epidemiologists, contact tracers, case managers, public health screeners, and other key staff. We work closely with DC Health, our local public health department. By building our own internal team, we have increased our ability to be responsive and to provide individualized care. This increased capacity will be critical as we plan to bring more members of our community on campus. Our public health framework requires active and reliable participation by the members of our community. Our Georgetown Community Compact indicates the responsibilities of each member on campus and in our neighborhoods. We have worked to share the importance of adherence to these measures for the safety of our community. We are monitoring a wide range of metrics on a daily basis. Our dashboard provides our community with an updated snapshot of testing information, positivity rates, and information on positive cases on or near campus. The dashboard also includes links to the COVID-19 information page for the City of Washington. Since March 11th, DC has been in a state of public health emergency. On October 7th, Mayor Bowser extended the public health emergency through December 31st, 2020. The District of Columbia remains in Phase 2 of its 4-phase reopening plan and has been in this status since June 22nd. Phase 2 means mass gatherings of more than 50 people are prohibited. Physical distancing is expected in workplaces and places of business. The mayor's quarantine order for interstate travel remains in effect and now includes 31 states. Teleworking is strongly encouraged. The mayor has articulated a set of criteria important for determining whether DC would be ready to move into Phase 3, tracking community spread and health system capacity. Specific metrics include daily case rates, test positivity rates, hospitalization rates, and rates of transmission. Phase 3 does lift some restrictions, allowing for larger gatherings, up to 250, though telework is still encouraged. It will not be until Phase 4, until we reach what the DC plan refers to as, quote, the new normal, close quote, where gatherings of all sizes and all travel is permitted. What are we learning in these first weeks of the semester? Our approach has been responsive to the evolving conditions of the pandemic and is based on the best public health practices. As we have implemented our public health framework, we have undertaken a series of pilots to test our capacity and to refine the implementation of our public health approach. We have pursued these pilots in a number of areas to explore a range of possible on-campus activities. We have resumed research activities and brought researchers back to their laboratories. A small number of residential students have returned and are using our dining facilities and library. In-person religious services held outdoors have resumed with no more than 25 people in attendance. We're beginning to experiment with other types of outdoor gatherings. At our law center, first-year JD students who live locally are being brought together outdoors in tents, in small groups and at safe distances to meet one another and our faculty. Our women and men's basketball teams recently returned to campus with the hope that competition will begin towards the end of the semester. Our graduate programs are planning to transition a very small number of courses into hybrid mode, enabling some in-person elements. These pilots are providing us with valuable information on the techniques and approaches and the challenges of bringing additional students to campus. We are also monitoring the experiences of other institutions in consulting with our colleagues. Our overall approach aligns with that of many of our peers and most DC universities. One can find across American higher education a range of approaches on testing, on public health, on residential return and campus density, and on instructional mode. These differences reflect the individual and local context of each institution. We have developed a set of practical assumptions to guide our efforts. We shared these with our community last June, and I provided an update on them in one of these previous video presentations. They continue to guide our work. I wish to highlight two in particular. Our first practical assumption is that the safety of our community is our highest priority. Our second assumption is that it is in the interest of our academic mission to bring back as many students as is possible. These practical assumptions are at the forefront of our planning, and we're seeking to answer two questions. How many more students might we be able to bring for residential life on our campus? And can we implement a hybrid approach for the spring semester? Can we introduce some in-person elements dependent on the conditions of the pandemic? There are a number of factors, both external and internal, that we are reviewing. The external factors provide a sense of the overall trajectory of the pandemic in the United States. We are looking at factors such as how many states are seeing increases in cases, how many new infections are recorded each day, how readily available are resources for testing. We are tracking the overall trajectory of the pandemic locally in our region, the DMV, the District, Maryland, and Virginia. It is important to remember that 80% of our community, graduate and professional students, faculty and staff, over 20,000 people come to our campuses and return to their homes in the DMV every day. What is happening in the region will impact what can happen here. We tracked the latest guidance from the DC government and the infection rate in the district, the conditions of interstate travel and state-based quarantine orders, the status of our local school districts. This fall, our local public school districts are primarily virtual. We are also monitoring a number of internal factors, including the key elements of our capacity to manage the spread of the virus, our testing capacity and test turnaround times, and our capacity for contact tracing, care navigation, isolation, and quarantine. I wish to close by offering a few words to our students, to our families, to all of the members of our community. I understand that this has been a challenging time. We are grappling with the impacts of the pandemic and significant changes to our daily lives. It has impacted each of us in different ways. For our first-year undergraduate students, these changes disrupted your senior year in high school, and you are now seeing them disrupt the beginning of your college years. You are eager to be among your peers and with our faculty on campus. Our seniors, who were asked to depart last March in the final months of your junior year, are beginning your final year together remotely. Our graduate and professional students, this has disrupted your experiences in significant ways as well. Your ability to conduct research, to travel, taking on new responsibilities at home. Our international students who face a range of unique challenges and the possibility of being many time zones away from our campuses. Our faculty, you who have worked so hard to transition to a virtual learning environment and to sustain ever deeper engagement with our students. Our staff, transitioning to telework, adjusting to our public health framework on campus. All of our colleagues managing new responsibilities at home. Our parents, caregivers, families. We know how disappointing this is that we are not able to provide the on-campus experiences that we are built for, and we share the hope that we will be able to welcome your students to our campuses. For all of this, this is not how we would like to be engaged in this fall semester. We know that this moment is not easy. It has been many generations since we have experienced a moment such as this one, when our actions so directly impacted the lives and the health of those around us. Most of us have never experienced anything like this. For Georgetown, as we face this moment, we do so animated by our values by our commitment to one another and our commitment to the common good. Earlier this summer, we were reflecting on how to organize our public health campaign. This was going to be a tool for us to educate and to communicate about the importance of our public health efforts. The most powerful way we could unite our community in upholding these commitments is captured in the name of our campaign: For Every Hoya, Everywhere.
This fall isn't going to look like any of us hoped. Instead of gathering on Healy Lawn, we're gathering online. Instead of meeting in offices, we're meeting in kitchens. It's easy to feel powerless over this virus, but the truth is, we're not. Every choice you make to protect your family, every habit you change to keep your friends safe, every extra step you take for someone else. They may feel like one tiny drop in the bucket, but when every single one of us keeps it going, every day, everywhere, it creates its own kind of spread. Even though we're scattered right now, the Hoya community is stronger together, and we can make a difference. Every Hoya, everywhere.
Each day, as we do our work, as we plan for the spring, as we experiment with new modes of learning, new pilots, as we implement our public health framework, our motivation for doing so is always right there with us in those words: for every Hoya, everywhere.